If you want to get back at Mitch McConnell's blatant, nasty hypocrisy, call your senator and tell them not to listen to Mitch McConnell, not to be afraid of Mitch McConnell, to do the right thing, stand up.
The thing to remember is Majority Leader Mitch McConnell doesn't give a shit what Chuck Schumer says. On the inside, he's busy counting votes and deciding how and when he can ram through this nomination. So what's next? A nomination coming this week, according to Trump. And then probably Senate hearings before the election. A confirmation vote, though, that's unclear.
When you have the Senate, when you have the votes, you can sort of do what you want as long as you have it.
There are 53 GOP senators, so McConnell can only afford to lose 3 and still get Trump's nominee on the bench by January. A lot of voices on the left are calling for Democrats to use every procedural move in the rulebook to try and slow McConnell down.
We must also commit to using every procedural tool available to us to ensure that we buy ourselves the time necessary. And to Mitch McConnell, we need to tell him that he is playing with fire.
That could mean tying up the Senate with impeachments of Trump or Attorney General Bill Barr, or using a government shutdown as leverage. But Oregon Democratic Senator Jeff Merkley says there just isn't one weird procedural trick that Mitch McConnell doesn't want you to know about here.
By and large, the procedural strategies, one, cannot succeed if you know the details of how the Senate operates, because a majority can hold a vote basically at will, and there is no ability to block it.
Since Democrats can't stop it, a growing number say there have to be consequences if Republicans go ahead. He's one of a group of senators who says if McConnell does this power grab, Democrats need to respond. You're one of the voices in this Senate that says, get rid of the filibuster. If McConnell goes ahead with this, get rid of it.
Well, I've been arguing that we need to have a conversation about how to restore the situation where amendments are common and blockades are rare. You could get rid of the filibuster, you could modify the filibuster, realizing right now that in order to sustain debate, you need only one person from the minority, but you need 51 of the majority for a quorum call. So I put out rule changes in the past would say if you really want to mount a blockade, then the weight of the burden has to be carried by those who want to blockade, not by the majority.
What about expanding the court 11 seats or 13 seats? How would that work?
Well, I've never been a fan of that idea. I felt we should work it out by being able to have a responsible process for the seats that exist. But I can tell you this, if this manipulation of our government continues in this fashion, there's going to be a strong reaction by the people of the United States, and no remedy is off the table. We're going to have a reckoning to try to restore the integrity of the vision our Constitution was founded on.
All of this strategy that we're talking about really only matters, I think, if Democrats win the election and take control of the Senate. Otherwise, Senator McConnell just sort of forges ahead how he wants. Can you talk about this in the context of Senate races, the election?
Certainly this issue will reverberate differently in different states. In Maine and Colorado, it probably reverberates differently than in North Carolina and Georgia or Arizona. Those, you'll see different stories unfolding. You'll see the candidates behaving in a different fashion according to their efforts to pursue election victory in November. I imagine that some of those Republican candidates are saying right now, don't make me vote before the election, because either one, I alienate my base if I vote against Trump, and if I vote with Trump, I alienate the people of the state because I've basically violated my integrity because I'm overturning the principle I acted on 4 years previously. So it's a lose-lose proposition for some in more moderate states.
Are the stakes higher in the Senate election now than they were 72 hours ago?
Yes, I think they are. I think they are, because if you have a court that has already been stacked for the powerful, then you really desperately need for the people to have control of the Senate and the presidency.